So I'm driving on runway Able, as you do, or as one does when one lives just 3 miles from one of the world's most famous and significant historic atomic history landmarks. A few days ago, I sent out a post to subscribers indicating that the runways on Tinian, runway Able and runway Baker, might be in the process of being repaved and put back into use for military purposes based on the real or perceived threat from the Chinese government. The U.S. is reestablishing its presence here on this side of the world and on these islands in particular. As an aside, when it comes to matters like this, I do my best not to say the Chinese or the Japanese or the Americans, because it's typically the military or government or a single leader. And though that's understood by many thinking people, I believe it also has the negative effect of painting all of that group, whether you're talking about the Koreans or the Chinese or, whatever, the Americans, paints everyone with the same broad brush and could lead people to take out their frustrations and their aggressions on the Chinese, any one Chinese, or the Russians, or the Americans, or the English, without realizing that the average person living in that country is not your enemy for the most part. The average person there is simply living in a country where their leaders are making decisions for them, just like any other country. So I make it a point, at least when I'm not rushed, to make that distinction. Anyway, I digress. So as someone here on the ground, I can confirm that yes, we have planes landing and taking off. I was on Tinian on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. And I couldn't, my guests and I couldn't finish our drive down the runway uninterrupted because there was a research team. I spoke to one of the fellows there, and he confirmed that at this stage, what they're doing is research to basically a feasibility study to find out what it would take to actually repave the runways. And if you're not familiar, runway Able on the island of Tinian is where the Enola Gay took off to bomb Hiroshima in 1945, and also a boxcar B-29 bomber took off to bomb Nagasaki. So that's on the way. And yes, as I said, I can confirm there were people on the runways, the research team, and also when we were on runway Baker, where we shouldn't have been because there was a cargo or transport plane there at the time. So we drove up as close as we could, knowing that at some point we'd get stopped. And sure enough, within a few seconds, young fellow with a gun and a smile approached us, or running towards us quickly, and told us, very nicely, very cordially, very politely that we needed to move and get off the runway. So that's going to be, runway Baker is going to be in operation for military purposes at least for the next 10 days, he said. However, runway Able, which is the historic takeoff site for the B-29 bombers, will be open to the public, or at least until further notice. So that's a little update here from the ground. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to confirm or verify, let me know. Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.
Subscribe.
You know what the man say.